darknet, deception. The three Ds which are perhaps a huge cause for concern for us.
Discover the shocking truth behind the dark web. From the rise and fall of Silk Road to the hidden dangers of illegal drug trades, the reality is more terrifying than you think. Don't miss out on this gripping story. The rise and fall of Silk Road. In 2011, a revolutionary website was born on the dark web. Known as Silk Road, it quickly became the go-to marketplace for illicit goods. The platform was designed to operate anonymously, with its transactions conducted using Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency of choice for dark web users. Silk Road's creator, Ross Ulbricht, who went by the alias Dread Pirate Roberts, ran the site with an ambition to create a free market economy without government interference. At its peak, Silk Road had over 1 million users and facilitated the trade of illegal substances, counterfeit IDs, hacking tools, and more. It was a thriving digital underworld, where customers could buy anything from drugs to stolen credit card information with just a few clicks. However, despite its success, Silk Road's existence was always under threat. Law enforcement agencies, both in the US and internationally, were working tirelessly to shut it down. In 2013, after years of investigation, the FBI finally tracked down Ross Ulbricht in a public library in San Francisco. Using a combination of digital forensics and old-fashioned detective work, they arrested him and seized the Silk Road marketplace. Ulbricht's arrest in October 2013 marked the beginning of the end for Silk Road. The US government dismantled the platform, taking control of millions of dollars in Bitcoin and shutting down one of the largest dark web marketplaces in history. Despite his arrest, Silk Road's impact continued to influence the rise of other dark web markets. In 2015, Ross Ulbricht was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Silk Road's fall served as a warning to those using the dark web for illegal activities. No matter how anonymous you think you are, the law is always one step behind, ready to strike. Alpha Bay shutdown. In 2014, a new dark web marketplace emerged, quickly becoming one of the largest and most notorious of its kind, Alpha Bay. It offered a wide range of illegal goods, from drugs and weapons to counterfeit money and hacking tools. Much like Silk Road, Alpha Bay operated using Bitcoin, allowing buyers and sellers to stay anonymous while conducting illegal transactions. By 2017, Alpha Bay had grown to host over 350,000 users and was estimated to be worth $1 billion in transactions. It was a thriving ecosystem for cybercriminals. However, its success also drew the attention of global law enforcement agencies, who were determined to bring it down. In July 2017, law enforcement agencies from around the world, including the FBI and Europol, launched a coordinated operation to shut down Alpha Bay. Just days before the operation was set to unfold, the site's founder, Alexander Kazes, was found dead in his apartment under suspicious circumstances, believed to be a suicide. The unexpected shutdown of Alpha Bay sent shockwaves throughout the dark web. Users were left scrambling for alternative marketplaces, and law enforcement gained a significant victory in the fight against cybercrime. In the aftermath, Alpha Bay's closure exposed the vulnerabilities of dark web marketplaces and served as a reminder that no online platform is truly safe from authorities. Despite the dramatic takedown, Alpha Bay's legacy lived on, inspiring a new generation of dark web marketplaces, but the law's reach continued to grow. Hansa Market. In 2017, as law enforcement agencies celebrated the shutdown of Alpha Bay, another dark web marketplace remained in operation, Hansa Market. Hansa had become a popular hub for illicit activities, hosting illegal drug sales, stolen data, and weapons. However, what its users didn't know was that behind the scenes, law enforcement had already infiltrated the platform. The authorities, with help from Europol and the Dutch National Police, secretly took control of Hansa Market in June 2017, just weeks before Alpha Bay was taken down. For over a month, Hansa continued to operate as usual, with users unaware that their transactions were being monitored by the authorities. The undercover operation allowed law enforcement to gather crucial data on Hansa's users, revealing the scale of criminal activity taking place. When Hansa Market was finally shut down in July 2017, the authorities had collected a wealth of information on its users, including over 50,000 buyer and seller accounts. This intelligence led to multiple arrests and further crackdowns on other dark web platforms. The infiltration of Hansa Market was a groundbreaking operation, showing how law enforcement could operate covertly within the dark web to gather evidence, monitor criminal activity, and eventually dismantle the marketplace. It also sent a clear message: no dark web marketplace, no matter how hidden, was beyond the reach of law enforcement. The evolution of cryptocurrencies. In the early days of the dark web, the rise of Bitcoin played a crucial role in the growth of illegal marketplaces. Launched in 2009 by the anonymous figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin was initially seen as a revolutionary digital currency that could facilitate secure, anonymous transactions without the need for banks or governments. Its decentralized nature made it the perfect fit for the dark web, where anonymity was key. By 2011, Bitcoin had gained traction in online communities, and it wasn't long before dark web marketplaces began using it as their primary currency. Silk Road, one of the first and most infamous dark web marketplaces, adopted Bitcoin to enable secure payments for illegal goods, ranging from drugs to weapons. The appeal of Bitcoin was simple. Transactions were pseudonymous, meaning they didn't directly link to the identity of the buyer or seller. This allowed users to exchange goods with little fear of being caught. Bitcoin's growing popularity led to an explosion of dark web marketplaces, and by 2013, it had become the dominant currency for illicit transactions. However, as Bitcoin became more intertwined with criminal activity, its use drew the attention of law enforcement agencies. In the years that followed, authorities began to focus on tracking Bitcoin transactions to uncover the identities of criminals. Despite its initial success in shielding illegal activities, Bitcoin's association with the dark web raised questions about the ethical and legal implications of cryptocurrency. Nonetheless, Bitcoin's role in fueling the growth of dark web trade remains undeniable, and its legacy is forever tied to the shadowy underworld of online crime. The hidden dangers of dark web drugs. In 2016, the dark web became the new frontier for illegal drug trade. Marketplaces like Silk Road and Alphabet allowed anyone with an internet connection to access a wide range of illicit substances, from narcotics to prescription drugs. For many, the anonymity provided by these platforms was a temptation too strong to resist, but for some, it would prove deadly. One of the most tragic real-life consequences of the dark web's drug trade was the overdose of a young man who had bought fentanyl, a potent synthetic opioid, from a dark web marketplace. Fentanyl, which is many times stronger than heroin, had begun to flood the market through illicit channels. Dark web marketplaces made it easier for people to acquire dangerous drugs, often with little oversight or regulation. In 2016, the young man, unaware of the potency of the drug, purchased fentanyl from a dark web vendor. Within hours of taking the drug, he was found dead in his home. This overdose, one of many linked to dark web transactions, highlighted the deadly risks associated with buying drugs online. The drugs sold on these platforms often came from unregulated sources, leading to fatal consequences for unsuspecting users. The rise of the dark web drug trade not only fueled addiction, but also contributed to the alarming increase in overdose deaths across the world. Law enforcement agencies intensified their efforts to shut down dark web marketplaces, but the deadly reality of the drugs sold on these platforms continues to haunt many communities, underscoring the hidden dangers lurking in the digital underworld. The dark web's deadly secrets have been exposed,